everyone, welcome back to the garage. We got a double restoration this time. We got a couple of old antique saws that we're going to restore and give a new look to. First one up is a Simonds. Looks to be a number 71 blue ribbon model, but we'll know more once we get some of the rust off. The handle, the applewood handle, is in great shape except for a small crack that we can glue. The other one looks to be a Disston number 12. And it's 26 inches long. They're both crosscut saws. Applewood handle on this one. There's a little crack on one of the horns that we're going to have to glue. But all in all, the wood's in good shape. Usually when you find these, the horns are broken off. There's gouges in the wood. I do have a lot of those, and I'll probably make a video later on about repairing the horns and actually grafting new pieces of wood onto them. We're not going to go full on make look like new. We're just going to clean up some of the rust, take care of beautifying the applewood handles, repair any cracks that are in them, and see if we can find some etching on the blades. Why don't you come around this side, we'll take a closer look at them. So the good news is, after all the sanding, we did find the etch, and it is a number 12. If you can make it out there, it says Disston and Sons Extra London Spring Steel. So this is the top of the line saw, pre-1917. So that's good news. The only bad news is that water damage right there, that little rust divot. Not much I can do about that. But we can clean up the rest, and it'll just be one of the scars that it has. All right, so here's the Disston plate. Came out really super good looking. You can still see the etch. It's light, but it's there. And it did confirm that it is a number 12. We made with London spring steel, the best that they had at the time. That was just the extra process, the tempering process that they put the number 12s through that made them hold their edge better. And we got that little rust divot there that we're going to have to live with, but we'll just chalk that up to character. It shouldn't affect the performance of the saw. It's just unfortunate that it's there. So we got the Disston done. Now all that's left is to get the Simonds done. We got to get this to look like that. All right, same process. Let's get sanding. There it is. The Simonds saw. All right, let's see if we can get this Simonds etching to pop a little bit more with some cool bluing. Well, that cold bluing helped. That etch stands out a little bit better on the saw. All right, so on the handles, before we go ahead and clean them up, we got to address these cracks. One on this side and a couple of smaller ones on this side. They are rather tight, so we're going to try something and see if we can mix up some of that epoxy into a syringe, mix it with some sawdust, clamp it, see if we can inject some epoxy down deep down into those cracks. Well, the first handle's done with the mineral spirits, and it is stripping away that grime fantastically. This handle's going to look great. It's still retaining a lot of its age. It's got a lot of character on it, and I can't wait to see. That's the Simonds. I can't wait to see what the Disston's going to look like when we get that all cleaned up. It's going to have that vintage aged look, but we're just going to clean up all the grime off of it too. So looking good. Let's get the other one done. All right, we gave that boiled linseed oil some time to soak in, and boy, that was some thirsty wood. But it came out really nice. I just love the finish of that boiled linseed oil. It really brings out the natural grain and look. Plus, it just has a great feel when you put the boiled linseed oil on wood and then wax it. For a working hand tool, it just has a great feel to it. So we got one last thing. We're going to put some wax on the handles, get the hardware put back together, and get those blades sharpened. All right, time for the Simonds. All right, so the first thing in sharpening the saw is we're going to joint the teeth. So just taking a marker, mark the top of the teeth. All right, so just a regular bastard file. Run along the tops of the teeth. You could see the tops that are shiny. All right, that's the teeth on the Disston done. Now we're going to sharpen the Simonds the same way. First joint them, and then sharpen them. gang, well that about wraps up the restoration of these two antique handsaws, the number 12 Disston and the number 71 Simonds. The Simonds, we glued the handle back together, took care of that crack. We cleaned off all of the gunk off that nice apple wood, cleaned up the blade. We did go ahead and sharpen the teeth and reset them. Came out really nice, and we even found an etch. So 100-plus-year-old saw still has the etch on it. The Disston, we did confirm that it's a number 12, and a little bit further research, because of the thin toe on it and lack of the nib on the end of the panel, it's probably a ship carpenter saw, so thinner that they could use for cutting curves. So even more exciting to have a number 12 ship pattern saw. Again, clean up the handle really nice. That apple wood looks fantastic. Left just enough of patina on the brass, and fully functional. So again, thanks again for stopping by the garage. One last thing to do. Let's put these saws through a test run. All right, first up, we'll cross cut just a simple piece of pine, and the Disston will go first. That's smooth. All right, let's get the Simonds up. All right, here's the Simonds going through pine. It's got a little bit more of an aggressive cut. There we go. That's the difference between 8 teeth and 9 teeth, or 8 points and 9 points per inch. All right, up next we got the Disston on a little piece of oak. And finally, the Simonds on this little piece of oak. Now that made quick work of it. All right, well that about wraps up the functional restoration of these two antique handsaws, the number 12 Disston and the number 71 Simonds. We had a lot of fun doing them. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. We got a lot more coming out of the garage this year, so we'll see you on the next one.